Personalized experiences are all around us. You can open up your Netflix account with a list of recommended suggestions based on what you've previously watched. You can go to any website with Google Ads and be welcomed with products you've previously viewed on Amazon. You can even open up your music library and have suggestions based on what you like to listen to. Personalizing the experiences in everyday life is something that is only gaining more and more traction. But what about education? How is education trying to keep up with creating a personalized learning experience? Well, in this video, I am going to be sharing a simple way that you can start developing a personal learning experience for your students. Hello, my name is Bridget Spackman. I'm a 4th grade ELA and social studies teacher in Central Pennsylvania. I've had over a decade of experience in kindergarten, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. I have a passion for ELA, authentic instruction, and rigorous teaching. If topics such as these interest you, then I would like to invite you to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time I go live or I upload a new video. Whether your school is a big proponent of personalized learning or you have never heard about it before, it is undeniable that so many parts of our lives are being impacted and driven by personalized experiences. So why head in this direction with education? Consider for a moment how often you think about your cohort of students and you realize that you have so many different varying levels. We are not grade level teachers anymore. We are teachers of students. So when we're able to get past this idea and that our students are at these very different levels, then we can equip ourselves with the knowledge and strategies for supporting them in their learning. This is why personalized learning is making a greater impact in the world of education. So where do we go from here? It seems unreasonable to provide an individual learning experience to a group of 25 students, and you're totally right. Planning this would be unreasonable, and it would cause any teacher, no matter how good, to quit. However, there are some simple changes that we can make to have a bigger impact on our students. Goal stations are a great way to help your students have a more customized experience and practice with the necessary skills. A goal station is a group of activities and resources that students can access in order to help them reach specific goals that are aligned to learning skills or strategies. I've shared a video where I set up a goal station in my own classroom, and you can check this out by clicking in the link in the description box. Now let's discuss how goal stations can help create a personalized experience for our students. Well, number one, it gives students options for demonstrating mastery. One of the biggest considerations when beginning with personalized learning is how you plan on providing students with choice in how they demonstrate their learning. We all have ways in which we like to learn, including ways that we enjoy sharing our learning with others. For example, some people might really enjoy standing up and presenting information on a subject. Others might shudder at the thought of having to speak in front of people, and this would not be the best way for them to demonstrate their learning. The point of giving students the option is that it triggers self-motivation, and it allows students to demonstrate the skills that they feel the strongest or most comfortable doing. A goal station should have a variety of activities that allow students to demonstrate their understanding and application of a skill or strategy. Now, keep in mind that not every activity will be a demonstration of mastery. There are some activities that are considered to just be opportunities for practice, while others are going to lend themselves to determine the level of understanding. For example, the goal is to always reach a higher level of Bloom's taxonomy when engaging with students and their thinking. If students are simply recalling information, this does not reach the higher level of application. We'll talk a little bit more about this later on. Your goal station, when created with intention, can allow students the choice for how they demonstrate their thinking. One way in which I like to do this in my own classroom is by creating choice boards for students to choose from. I craft choices around projects and allow students to select the topics that will give them the ability to demonstrate their understanding of that strategy or skill. The second way that a goal station personalizes the experience of students is that it provides students with repeated practice. Brain research shows that students need spatial practice in order to help them retain the information that they're being taught. This includes providing them with scaffolded practice using Bloom's taxonomy, the system for classifying human cognition. As you give students opportunities to practice with the skill or strategy, you can then tailor their needs based off of their level of cognition. Now, obviously, we have to be able to recall information before we're able to apply the skills and strategies. But not all students are going to need the same amount of practice when it comes to the recall portion. A goal station will give your students the opportunity to continue practice at all different levels. And taking the time to thoughtfully plan your goal station will help to support not only your students in this process, but also you. Let's face it, there is very little time in the day for you to customize the learning experience for 25 kids. Having a goal station set up and ready to facilitate this form of learning will keep kids excited and engaged in their studies. Before we move on, I want you to keep in mind that I am not introducing these as like a whole group to my students. Typically, after students have selected their choice, I will record this in my binder, and then I will plan to have groups similar to the assignments that they've chosen. And then I would meet with these small groups regularly. The third way that goal stations personalize the experience is that it offers students with extended practice. The choice board is not the only type of activities or projects that I offer students in their goal stations. This is also a great place to store previously played activities, review games, QR codes to online games that they have done previously, and also simple self-checking task cards. As students progress through the curriculum, and should there be a need for students to be able to review or continue their practice to support them in their learning, they have the ability to go back to these activities placed into the goal station as a means for supporting them. Keep in mind that this is in addition to the choice board, and it is not the only item that they can complete. Think of these resources as a means to continuing the learning that is already taking place in the classroom. It is important to note that the activities that you select for providing this practice should be self-checking activities. The purpose is to give students immediate feedback. I like to use online sites such as Blickit, Boom Cards, and Edpuzzles in order to assist me in this area. I also have task cards, sorts, and other activities with answer keys that are readily available for students to check themselves. So once students have reviewed and they feel confident in the skill, they can begin working on the activities to demonstrate their learning of that skill or strategy. The purpose is to support all levels of learning and not just the final results. For example, let's say that I'm teaching students on determining the key ideas to support a main idea of an informational text. Student A might feel as though they are totally understand the concept and are ready to demonstrate their understanding, while student B might need some extra practice and opportunities in order to review that skill. Your goal station should allow for all forms of learning. To keep it manageable, have a section where students can continue learning. I use my learner management system in order to hold all of these materials. So I use Schoology basically. In your goal station, keep all of the practice and more challenging assignments in folders for students to be able to access those materials on their own. The fourth way is that it gives opportunities for enrichment and also to challenge students. There are also times in which you want your students to go above and beyond in their understanding of the content. These forms of activities need to be highly engaging, or else your learner is going to feel just like they're being given extra busy work. To make enrichment activities fun, I like to incorporate like whodunits, mysteries, and also breakouts. These activities will have my students going far more in depth with the strategy or skill that they're already learning. I offer this as either a learning opportunity for them to be able to practice, or if they've already demonstrated their understanding through their final product, I have my students then select from one of these more challenging tasks. Now, depending, you might want students to only have access to the folder or the choice board. You can keep these types of activities separate, or you can place these alongside your materials. It is important to think that if you keep all of these materials in one location, you will want to think through how your students will know the difference between the enrichment practice and also the project-based learning opportunities. You will want to have these clearly labeled, or as I mentioned, just keep them in a totally separate location. For me, I have these in a separate file system inside of my classroom. I'm able to meet with these students in advance and we discuss some of the options before they actually need access to those materials. I have a few breakouts that I have created and placed inside of my Bridging Literacy community as a way to help get started in this area. So if you are in the community and you're a member, be sure to check out those resources. The final way that a goal station personalizes learning is that it provides spiral practice to continue developing these skills. A goal station in your classroom will offer students the opportunity to spiral practice previously learned skills. Listen, we all need refreshers on things that we've previously learned. It is especially helpful when those refreshers help us to be successful in the content that's related to it. So, for example, it might be helpful to have students review text structures to help them with determining the main idea and key details of a text. Providing students with opportunities that they can practice will allow them to be able to make connections between the content that they are learning. It also allows for students to go back to these previous skills and review it if you notice that they're struggling with understanding that concept later on down the road. So for example, as you're reviewing a student's writing, maybe you've noticed that they are really struggling with verb tenses. You can meet and then assign some of that practice for them to continue to review the skill, even though you've already covered it inside of your classroom. So now let's review the ways in which a goal station can help you personalize the learning of your students. Number one, it gives students options for demonstrating mastery. Number two is it provides students with repeated practice. Number three is that it offers students with extended practice. Number four is it gives opportunities for enrichment and to challenge students. And number five is that it provides spiral practice to continue developing skills. While the work that you put in the very beginning to get this goal station up and running might seem like so much work, the payout in the end is going to be worth it. You'll find that this goal station, when balanced with a variety of activities, will do a lot of the work for you throughout the year. I hope that you guys found this video helpful, especially if you're looking for an alternative to centers in upper elementary. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and then I'll catch you all next time. Bye!